Hi there! In this video, we'll be going over the integrations section of your Time2Pet settings. Time2Pet provides third-party integrations for several different features. These are all completely optional and may involve additional setup outside of Time2Pet. The first tab in your integration settings is for a Dropbox backup account. Time2Pet supports an automated integration with Dropbox to back up your client, pet, and schedule data nightly to your Dropbox account. When enabled and connected, look for the Apps/Time2Pet folder in your Dropbox account. After clicking the Connect to Dropbox button, Time2Pet will load a new page where you can log into Dropbox to connect your account. Time2Pet also supports calendar integrations with many third-party calendars such as Apple iCal, Google Calendar, Outlook, Yahoo Calendar, and any other provider that supports the iCalendar format. Each provider has a slightly different method for importing the Time2Pet calendars, and we have provided links to the most common provider instructions in our third-party calendar integration help article. First, make sure that the calendar integration is enabled in your integration settings. After you've enabled the calendar integration in your settings, a calendar URL will appear that you can copy and paste into your preferred calendar provider. Staff members can also access the third-party calendar integration by going to their My Schedule page and clicking the Calendar Integration button. Time2Pet also integrates with your QuickBooks Online account, allowing your invoices, services, payments, and clients to be automatically kept in sync as changes are made in your Time2Pet account. QuickBooks and Time2Pet are not a two-way sync, meaning that QuickBooks does not have any mechanism by which to notify Time2Pet of any updates. To sync a change made in QuickBooks but not yet made in Time2Pet, you can edit an invoice inside of Time2Pet, and at the very bottom you'll find a Resync with QuickBooks button. If you are currently using QuickBooks Online and need to import your client information into Time2Pet, please contact our support team. Time2Pet provides support for sending and receiving text and picture messages to both your clients and your staff members directly from our platform. Text messaging is deeply integrated into the core functionality of Time2Pet. This creates a seamless way to deliver text messages to your clients and staff without changing how your business operates. Many companies prefer to have their clients download the client mobile app rather than use text messaging. With the mobile app, clients receive a push notification on their phone anytime you send them a message, similar to how they would for a text message. But with the mobile app, there are no overage charges or character limits on messages. And clients can also use the app to schedule services, update their information, view and pay invoices, all of this more conveniently from their phone. One of the first steps with setting up text messaging is to select your text message only phone number. This is a local number that you choose for your company. All text from your business will be sent from this phone number. Your clients and staff can respond and send text messages to this number, and their messages will be automatically sorted to the appropriate conversation feeds. You can search for a text messaging number by entering your desired area code or a specific series of numbers that you'd like to be included in your number. Please note that it's not possible to use an existing phone number as your text messaging number for Time2Pet. Mobile carriers do not allow us to tap into existing phone numbers for security and privacy reasons. Only text messages can be sent and received from this number. Phone calls cannot be made or received. Let's look at some of the configuration settings for text messaging. First up is the client phone number field. This is the field that contains each client's phone number. You may have created a custom field specifically for mobile phone numbers, so be sure to select the field that includes your client's cell phone number. Next up is max messages per conversation. Because text messages have a limit of 160 characters per message, Time to Pet will automatically split longer conversations into multiple messages. In order to conserve the number of text messages that are sent, you can set a maximum number of text messages each conversation will be split into here. Images will be sent as a separate MMS or picture message. For example, if you included 3 images within a conversation, 3 separate picture messages will be sent. In order to conserve the number of text messages that are sent, you can set a maximum number of images sent per conversation here. Next up are your notifications to clients. With the message sent to client setting, any messages sent to your clients in Time to Pet will be sent to clients via text messages as well, as long as this is enabled. You can adjust the default message delivery setting for individual clients in the Client Numbers section of your text messaging settings. If you've enabled the Event Started notification in your mobile app settings, you can also make sure that this is sent as a text message by enabling the Event Started notification here in your text message settings. Let's take a look at notifications sent to staff. When staff is sent messages enabled, any messages sent to your staff in Time to Pet will be sent to them via text message as well. If you would like text messages to be sent to staff, make sure this is enabled. You can also adjust the default message delivery setting for individual staff in the Staff Numbers section. When Client Request Services is enabled, all admins and office managers will be notified by text when a client requests new services. If you would like text messages to be sent to admins and office managers when clients submit new service requests, make sure this setting is enabled. When Client Request Service Change or Cancellations is enabled, all admins and office managers will be notified by text when a client submits a service change or cancellation request. If you would like text messages to be sent to admins and office managers when clients submit service or change requests, make sure this setting is enabled. When Staff is late to own event is enabled, staff members will be notified by text when they are late to their own event. If you would like text messages to be sent to staff members when they are late to an event, make sure this setting is enabled. And lastly is Staff is late to event. When this setting is enabled, all admins and office managers will be notified by text when a staff member is late to an event. If you would like text messages to be sent to admins and office managers when a staff member is late to an event, make sure this setting is enabled. The Messages tab of your text messaging settings allows you to view all text messages that were sent, received, or failed. You can use the filters at the top of the page to view messages that were sent on a specific date range, to specific clients, whether they failed or succeeded, and if they were sent or received. Text messaging in Time to Pet includes 250 messages per active staff member. This means admins, office managers, and any staff members that are on this schedule for your billing period. Text can be shared by all staff, so a company with 2 staff members has 500 texts per month. If one staff member sends or receives 300 texts and one staff member sends or receives 100, there are no overages. Texts will actually roll over to the next month, and any overages are billed at the end of each month at a rate of 0.025 cents per text. Time to Pet allows you to see a complete history of all of your transactions related to text messaging in the Billing tab of your text messaging settings. You can view a complete history of all billing periods. You can also see how many messages were used, both sent and received, how many messages are set to roll over, and if there are any overage charges. The Client and Staff Numbers tabs in your text messaging settings allow you to set the default text message settings for all of your clients and staff members. This includes whether texting is enabled for a particular client or staff member and their default message delivery setting. You can also enable or disable text messages for each individual client or staff member and adjust the default conversation method for each person. Time to Pet will also show you whether or not the client or staff member's phone number is a valid phone number. As a note, this tool will confirm that the number conforms to telecom standards, but does not guarantee the number is able to receive text or MMS messages. If you ever receive a text message to your text-only number and Time to Pet cannot automatically locate the client or staff member who sent the message, it will be placed in the Unassigned Messages tab in your text messaging settings. We will also send you a notification via email that you have received a text message that is unassignable. You can assign the message to a client or staff member by clicking the Assign button on the right-hand side. Then by selecting whether or not the message came from client or staff, and then selecting the appropriate person to assign it to. If you have any additional questions, be sure to check out the Help tab in your account for helpful articles on specific topics, as well as access to our support team to send any questions. You can also check out our Resource Center, which includes some of our most popular resources for getting started in Time to Pet, such as the onboarding guide and our best practice articles.